How's it going, Jack's Hackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today, I'm going to be starting another series on my channel called Years in Film. What exactly does that mean? Well, basically each episode, I will be ranking every movie I have seen in a specific year. Basically what I've done with the years 2017, 2018, 2019, and will do in 2020. That's why this first episode is going to be 2016, because I've done the years before it so far. I will probably just continue to go backwards, though who knows, maybe someday I will go back and cover 2017, 2018, and 2019 within the new films I have seen from those years. But yeah, anyways, 2016. It was a decent year for movies. Nothing incredible, though. Not a top tier year for film, but it still had enough to say it didn't suck, because there's definitely some great movies in here. Anyways, let's just start off at number 31. Yes, I've seen 31 movies from this year. So, at the very bottom, in my honest opinion, is American Honey. This is an A24 film that I just didn't particularly enjoy that much. Shia LaBeouf's in it, which was cool, but even he cannot save this film, unfortunately. At number 30, I have Terrifier. This is a low-budget horror film that, well, do I really have to say more than that? Low-budget horror films can be good, I suppose, but this one's just really bad and just really awful, basically. At number 29, I have Sausage Party. I don't really like this movie. I think a lot of the jokes fall flat, and its like whole premise is that, hey, look, we're being sexual with food. Okay? Number 28 is Alice Through the Looking Glass. I liked the first Alice in Wonderland movie. This one is I don't think we, really need a sequel to the first one, because the first one wasn't even that great, but it was fine. This one's not good, though. Number 27 is The BFG, which this is a Spielberg film, and I was actually a really big fan of the book, The BFG, by Roald Dahl when I was younger. I don't know how this movie failed. I know some people like it, and it's not like the worst movie ever, but it's not great either. Number 26 is The Boy. They actually made a sequel to this year in 2020, which sucked, but I'll give my thoughts on that in the 2020 year in film, I guess. But this one was watchable, and that's about all I can say. I mean, it's definitely better than its sequel, but yeah. At number 25, I have Keanu. This is basically a satire of John Wick. It's literally called Keanu Reeves. There's a few funny moments in here, but overall it's nothing too great. At number 24, I have Batman Bad Blood. This is one of the weaker DC animated films in my opinion. There's not a whole lot going on here that really stuck out to me. So it's decent, kind of. Not really. It's more on the bad side than good, but it's not, again, the worst thing ever. At number 23, I have the Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life. I actually was a fan of this book series as a kid as well, though it was never as good as, say, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, because those books were just godlike. This film is okay. There's a few moments in here that are a little cringe and just kind of too childish for me, so that's why it's a bit lower on the list. At number 22 is I, Daniel Blake. Now, this is a pretty underrated movie from what I've heard. I know it's low on the list because, yeah, I didn't like it that much, though I don't think it's awful either. This is where we're starting to get into the decent territory that I would rewatch again, but wouldn't have the best time rewatching, I guess. But they're still not bad movies by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, I've heard good things about this, and I saw it, and I just came out of it thinking, that's kind of forgettable. I don't really remember what was going on in that movie. Yeah. At number 21 is The Secret Life of Pets, the very first one. This one was not great. I mean, if you really want to show your kids a good animated movie, show them Toy Story, because this movie basically rips off that film. So, yeah. At number 20 is The Edge of 17. I don't really like coming-of-age films, if I hadn't made that abundantly clear already. This one's just, I don't know, I didn't really care for it. It's not the worst movie. I know I keep saying that, but, like, I guess this is kind of how I feel. It's definitely watchable, and I don't hate this by any means, but, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it personally. At number 19 is Why Him? This was actually a film starring Bryan Cranston, which is pretty crazy, and that's probably one of the main reasons I ended up seeing it in theaters when it came out. There's a few funny moments, and that's really all I can say. It's, again, not bad, but eh. At number 18 is Ice Age Collision Course. This is honestly the only bad Ice Age movie, in my opinion. I do think that Continental Drift isn't that great, but it's definitely nowhere near as bad as Collision Course. Collision Course is pretty bad. There's a few good things about it, but overall, I do think the bad outweighs the good, so that's why it's a little lower on the list. But I would rewatch it just because I have a special place in my heart for Ice Age, and yeah, I don't know. That's probably why I put it above some of these other movies. Moving on to number 17 is Moana. I think this is a good movie. It didn't really stick out to me that much. However, I will say the songs in this are fucking fantastic. I'll be honest. Like, okay, How Far I'll Go is, yeah, that's kind of fucking cinema. I'll be honest. There's some good songs in here, but the story as a whole, it wasn't like super interesting to me. Again, wasn't awful, and I do think this is a decent movie overall. So yeah, it's fine. Number 16 is Kung Fu Panda 3. I was actually a big fan of the original as a kid, but I'm sorry, the Kung Fu Panda sequels never really stuck out to me. I'm not saying they're bad, and I actually enjoy this movie, Kung Fu Panda 3, but I just never got attached to it like the first film, and that kind of is because I was pretty nostalgic for the first film, and I saw that when I was really young. But when I saw the sequels, I wasn't as young, so it kind of just lost its charm a little bit. But overall, Kung Fu Panda 3, it's fine, and that's really all I can say about it. It's totally fine. At number 15, I have the live-action Jungle Book movie, directed by Jon Favreau, and this was probably one of the better Disney live-action remakes. It's pretty good. The visual effects are really amazing, and yeah, there's some good stuff in here, and, you know, I'm a big fan of the original Jungle Book, so that's, you know, really why I like this movie, I guess, and it's pretty true to the original film, and it's not stupid, in my opinion, like the Lion King remake. It's acceptable, yeah. At number 14 is Batman the Killing Joke. Now, I'll be honest, if the first 20 minutes of this movie weren't in it, I think this would probably be higher on the list because it's pretty decent other than the first 20 minutes with the really weird Batgirl stuff. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It is just, what? But other than that, it's fine. It's still nothing amazing, but it's watchable. At number 13, I might get a little hate for this because it's a bit high, but I have Suicide Squad. There's a few good things about this movie, and it's actually not my least favorite DCEU film. I think Birds of Prey is worse than this one. But Suicide Squad is okay in some aspects. I kind of understood what they were going for, and I would really love to see David Ayer's cut of this film because he's hyping it up to, well, not really him, but most of the fan base are kind of hyping it up to be like a lot better than the original cut. So I would like to see the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad just to see how the film was meant to look, I guess. At number 12 is La La Land. I don't love this movie as much as other people do, but I did end up seeing it in one of my film studies classes, and I mean, yeah, it's not bad. I just personally couldn't get into it. I really despise musicals, you know, other than like the Disney films, because I don't know, musicals just kind of take me out of the experience a little bit. Like, I don't really understand them. Like, I don't get it, I guess. But there's some great cinematography in here, and there's some good songs in here, too. I'm not gonna lie, like, yeah, it's good, but nothing amazing. At number 11, kind of surprised I placed this one this high, but yeah, it's Trolls, the first one. Yeah, Trolls is, I think the first half's much better than the second half, I'll be honest. I don't know if that's a hot take or anything. I don't know what the general consensus is on this movie, but it's fine. It's okay. It's good. I'm surprised I put it this high, but yeah, I guess I liked it more than I thought I would. I don't know. At number 10, I have Zootopia. This is one of the better, newer Disney animated movies, I would say, in like at least the last few years. This one's really good, though. I think it has a really interesting premise, a really interesting setting, and character design, how everyone's animals, basically, and just how each animal is represented and how they are supposed to look and what they would wear. I don't know. It's just kind of cool in that aspect. So, yeah, I really enjoy this movie. It's pretty good. At number 9 is Moonlight. This is another A24 film, probably one of the better A24 films that I've seen. I'm not a huge fan of A24. I'm sorry. I just think they're all pretentious assholes. But this movie is pretty good. There's some good moments in here. Nothing too amazing. Didn't really personalize with me that much, but there's some great cinematography, great acting, great storytelling in here. But yeah, that's about it for me. At number 8 is Doctor Strange. Probably one of the weaker MCU films, but it's still good. And that just kind of goes to show you how good the MCU is for the most part. There definitely are weak films in the franchise, but Doctor Strange is decent, and I like it. It's not as good as some of the others. It's not that big of an MCU film, but I like it. So, yeah. At number 7 is Batman v Superman. Every time I rewatch this one, I find something I like about it, and I like this movie. It just has some major issues, really only one major issue, with how Batman is portrayed. And I know, ooh, Batman killing people. I've ranted about it in the past of why in specific this movie fails with that aspect, and not because, like, I would accept Batman killing people almost, but after that Martha scene, he goes to the warehouse and ends up probably killing at least another person in that attack, I guess. So it's like, what was the point of it? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about it that much, but I do like this movie. I like it more and more as I rewatch it. Yeah. At number 6 is Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. This is the best Disney Star Wars film, in my opinion. I think the Darth Vader scenes in this are fantastic. And I know, ooh, if you took the Darth Vader scenes out of it, it wouldn't be that good of a movie. I still think it's fine. A lot of people consider the characters boring and dull. They're not amazing, but I don't think they're boring either. At least this film feels like it has consequences and there's actual stakes. So I kind of like that aspect of the film. It's pretty ballsy. At number 5 is Hacksaw Ridge, another war film. And I'm not a huge fan of war films, to be honest, but this is one of the better ones I've seen. Yeah, I enjoy this. I thought Andrew Garfield was fucking fantastic in this movie. And there's some great cinematography and just really well put together scenes in this. And yeah, it's really good. I like it. At number 4 is Deadpool. Honestly, man, I think this film ages like fine wine. I think that this movie's miles better than the second Deadpool. I'm sorry, but if you haven't seen this one in a while, go check it out again, because I think you'll find that, no, this is actually the better one. I'm sorry. The low budget feel to it is really special. And the fact that, you know, people had wanted a Deadpool movie for a long time, and this did kind of revolutionize the superhero genre in many different ways, and just kind of helped some superhero movies kind of be a little bit different. But now Deadpool's super overrated as a character, and I don't really like Deadpool that much. I'm not super excited for Deadpool 3, but this first movie, it's something special for sure. At number 3 is Finding Dory. Kind of surprised I put this one this high because it's not too high on my Pixar rankings, but it's grown on me a lot in the years that it's been out. I used to kind of really, I guess, not like it. I don't know how else to say it, but I didn't really like it that much because Finding Nemo, if you guys don't know, is one of my favorite films of all time. And this is a sequel to one of my favorite films of all time, and that I really wanted it for a long time. And honestly, yeah, this is a good movie, man. This is a good movie. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what I was thinking when I said, like, I liked it when it came out, but I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is I like it more now, basically. Finding Dory is pretty great. Yeah. At number 2, this is a weird one, but it's The Life Exotic. This is a documentary by the Tiger King. And if you've seen the Netflix series, just stick to the Netflix series because honestly, this is pretty poorly directed, but I still love it at the same time. Like, I don't know, there's something about it that I just really enjoy, and the subject matter is so fucking interesting to me. So, yeah, I do think there's issues with it, but I don't really care at the same time. Joe Exotic is such a weird person, man. What the hell? But yeah, I really like this movie. I don't know. It's weird, and I do think the Netflix series is miles better, but I don't know. There's still something about this one that still stuck with me, I guess. At number 1, of course, is Captain America Civil War. I mean, this is kind of a masterpiece, basically. One of the best MCU films out there. I think it's my third favorite MCU film. One of my favorite movies of all time. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's great. I mean, what else is there to say about it? I mean, I'm sure it's a lot of your guys' favorite MCU film, or one of your favorite MCU films. It's super good. But yeah, that's 2016 ranked all 31 movies. I guess let me hear your thoughts, and let me hear maybe your favorite movie from this year. You could rank all of them, the ones that you've seen if you remember. Maybe recommend me some. Maybe that'll be something. I mean, I have a shit ton of movies on my watch list. I know there's definitely some movies on here that I've not seen that came out this year. So I guess that would be fun. Maybe if you've seen a movie this year, recommend me some movies down in the comments. So maybe someday I can make a later episode and, like, you know, kind of once I've seen enough new movies, and maybe some of my other films that I've already mentioned are maybe reshuffled. And then maybe I could go back and, you know, show you guys movies that I've seen from this year and kind of rank them amongst the bunch. I think that'd be interesting. So yeah, if I forgot a movie, or not forgot, because these are all the movies I've seen, but you know what I mean. If you've seen a movie that I haven't seen from this year, let me know down in the comments. Though it's already on my watch list. Maybe, I don't know, but it could not be as well. I don't know. But yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Boop.